It's a pleasure to be with you, and particularly a pleasure to follow Gary Ackerman, my somewhat more senior and certainly much older colleague in Congress. For those of you who I haven't met, I'm Brad Sherman from California's best named city, Sherman Oaks. I represent half the San Fernando Valley in the United States Congress, and my colleague Howard Berman, who chairs our Foreign Affairs Committee, represents the other half of the San Fernando Valley. So it's interesting how the careers are intertwined. Our districts are literally intertwined. With me today is John Broadkey, who's on his own time, since this is a political action committee. John is a senior staffer with the committee, and in particular works on the issues of the subcommittee that I chair on terrorism, non-proliferation, and trade. If you want to make sure you're getting all the updates on the things I'm doing in Congress, make sure John has your email address. John, you can sit down now. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. My family has been involved with South Asia, and particularly with Sindh, for longer than I've been alive. My grandfather lived and my grandmother lived for over a year in the Metropole Hotel in Karachi, where my grandfather established the office of the International Labor Organization back in 1951. As you know, the ILO is part of the UN, having been established as part of the League of Nations, and he established technical training programs in Sindh long before I was born. And my wife has spent 3 years in South Asia working on development projects. She wishes she could be here, but about 8 months ago our own development project was successful, and she's home with the baby. And my sister is a volunteer teacher in South Asia as well, spends most of her time teaching American Sign Language as well as English. Now, Gary and I work together very closely. He and I sit together on the Financial Services Committee, sit literally side by side, where we're working to try to restore the American economy and make sure that we never have a meltdown like this again. We sit together on the Foreign Affairs Committee, where he chairs the subcommittee on the Middle East and South Asia, and I chair the subcommittee on terrorism, non-proliferation, and trade. And it is, of course, foreign affairs that will be the subject of my speech here today. Finally, I also sit on the Judiciary Committee, where after health care is dealt with, as you may know, we have some contentious discussions of that issue. I think Congress will be turning its attention toward reasonable, balanced, comprehensive immigration reform. And the Judiciary Committee is also the committee that focuses on the civil rights and civil liberties of all Americans. I want to take the opportunity to commend you for your activism for Pakistan, for democracy, and especially for Sindh. The 30 million people of Sindh will benefit from your efforts and your ability to drive home to the American Congress the importance of working with all of the different components of Pakistan and working to make sure that Pakistan is the kind of good partner that the United States needs, not only in our efforts against terrorism, but also in working toward democracy and working toward development around the world. The most important element of this, pending in Congress now, is a bill that was introduced by Howard Berman, Gary Ackerman, and Brad Sherman into the United States Congress, and that is the Pakistan Enduring Assistance and Cooperation Enhancement Act. That is the bill that provides for $1.5 billion each year to Pakistan, and in a break from what was not a well-considered policy of the past. This is $1.5 billion not for military, but for economic and social development and education, to build the democratic institutions, to build the educational institutions that will allow Pakistan to build prosperity and democracy. The House has already passed this bill, which, in addition to providing the aid, focuses on textile imports into the United States and provides for duty-free import to the United States of textiles created in special reconstruction opportunity zones in Pakistan and in Afghanistan. But I think that perhaps more important than aid is what the United States can do to help Sindh and to help Pakistan develop trade relationships with the United States, because $1.5 billion is a very large amount of money per year in aid, and would put Pakistan at the very forefront of economic aid recipients. But $1.5 billion is a tiny amount when you look at the overall trade of the United States, and the dollars that we send abroad to our trading partners more than dwarf what we send abroad to aid recipients. As it happens, I've developed, long before he became ambassador, I developed a friendship with Hussein Haqqani, who is the ambassador from Pakistan, as you know, and my wife Lisa, his wife Farah, have come to know each other over the last several years, and I am going to be working with him and with the embassy to try to move American law toward admitting textiles from Pakistan on a highly advantageous basis, the same basis that we provide to Colombia. And that provides not only money, but it provides money which, by its very nature, has to go into the hands of regular working people. A portion may go here, a portion may go there, but most of what is paid for textiles goes to the people behind the sewing machines. And that is a guarantee that cannot always be achieved with our foreign aid dollars. So I look forward to working with you to build a relationship in which Pakistan is not thought of as a country where democracy is holding on, a country that re-achieved democracy recently, but rather a country where democracy is absolutely solid, where Pakistan's friends expect it to be a democracy, and where the people of Pakistan will accept nothing else. The armed services of Pakistan have an important role. I don't have to tell you that Pakistan faces national security threats, both over its border and within its borders. But that is not a reason for the military to be playing a role in the politics of the country. And it is good to see the proper civilian-military relationship has been restored, and I look forward to building on that to the point where it is regarded as permanent. Part of that is to make it very clear that the United States is a friend of a democratic